Hey guys, and welcome back to the ASX Investor channel, and welcome to another ASX CEO interview. By now, everybody knows about the mega trend that is evolving with the clean energy transition, the focus on electric vehicles as the EV adoption picks up pace. We know that core to that, of course, are lithium-ion batteries. However, as we transition into this next stage of the adoption, we know that lithium-ion batteries have some capacity constraints. And so there's a search for a range of different alternative solutions that could help to feed into this growth moving forward. Today, we'll be talking to and unpacking the story of LIS Energy. They're one of the hottest IPOs to hit the ASX this year. I'm sure you're familiar with them. They're working on a lithium sulphur battery technology solution that's definitely been fascinating, and it's really grasped the market's attention. We're welcoming to the channel Dr. Lee Finniear. Welcome, Lee. It's been a fascinating period, mate.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Really been looking forward to unpacking the ASX LIS story. I think before we dive into all the news flow and the real technology behind it, we'd love just to have that overview about who is LIS Energy and what's that problem that you're trying to solve.
LIS Energy was born out of over a decade of research at Deakin University, which PPK Group recognized and realized that it could be commercialized. The challenge has been that lithium-ion batteries have a maximum theoretical energy density of only 387 watt-hours per kilogram. And it's nearly hitting that already, so that it's a sort of glass ceiling that physics and chemistry will not allow lithium-ion to go past. But the world needs much more energy-dense batteries if we're going to be able to get EVs to go 1,000 kilometers, if we're going to get drones to fly longer, or even use it for aviation. So what we got involved with Deakin University is looking at how to solve that problem using a different battery chemistry called lithium sulphur batteries. That replaces the heavy metal cathode of normally a lithium-ion battery has as manganese, nickel, cobalt, as well as lithium oxides in it, replacing all those heavy metals with a simple sulfur and carbon cathode. And then replacing the anode, which is graphite in a lithium-ion battery, replacing that with pure lithium. Now, the great thing about that is a lithium sulfur battery has a theoretical maximum energy density of over 2,500 watt-hours per kilogram, so more than 5 times that of a lithium-ion battery. So they sound fantastic, and they have been built before. The challenge has been up until now that because they're so energetic, they tend to degrade rapidly, so that they'll give you a great energy density, but after 50 to 100 charge and recharge cycles, they actually fail. And that's not much good. If you had to take a Tesla back every 3 months to change the battery pack, it wouldn't be very popular. So what we've done is been able to focus on stabilizing the cycle life of a lithium sulfur battery, and that's what we achieved. So we've brought a lithium sulfur battery with much higher energy density into the same realm for cycle life as a lithium-ion battery. And that's really the breakthrough that we've managed to have.
Yeah, it's very compelling when you're looking at some of the benefits that lithium sulfur batteries can provide towards the conventional chemistries at the moment. They're significant, but of course with the boron, nitride, nanotubes, you're able to bring this cycle life up rather than 50 or 100. You can actually potentially have it usable at commercial scale. We'd love just to hear some of those benefits that lithium sulfur can provide if you can stabilize this, and how you're looking moving forward at it all.
Okay, well, the great thing so far is that as we've put out in our IPO, there's a couple of things we've done that have been very special. Firstly, our test cells for lithium sulfur have managed 900 charge and discharge cycles, which is fantastic compared with the 50 to 100 that was normally expected. The second thing is we've been able to stabilize the anode. Lithium anodes tend to form these things called dendrites or spikes, and they can short circuit the battery very quickly. And that happens not just in lithium sulfur, but any other battery chemistry that tries to use lithium as a metal anode. So by stabilizing both the cathode with BNNT boron nitride nanotubes, I can explain those a little later, and the anode with a new composite nanomesh that we've developed, we've been able to bring that cycle life stability up to a great extent similar to lithium ion, and the benefits of that, typically a Tesla battery pack currently weighs 625 kilos, and we can do the same amount of energy at a fraction of the weight, or we can do more than double the energy at the same weight. So in other words, you can, as a manufacturer of products, you can choose whether to increase the range a great deal or reduce the weight of your product. And obviously with things like aviation and drones, weight is absolutely critical. The less weight you've got in the core battery, the more payload you can carry and the longer you can fly. So those are the key things that are important in terms of the lithium sulfur battery chemistry in the future.
And of course, all of this is enabled with the robust supply chain for BNNTs. They really help to facilitate all of this. So on the back of your partnerships, you're able to get access to that, and also helps to bring down the cost curves as well. Can you talk about why BNNTs are so important and how you're positioned within the supply chain with your partnerships to really enable that?
Boron nitride nanotubes, or BNNTs, are a nanomaterial very much like carbon nanotubes, but instead of the carbon atoms in a hexagon, they're actually boron and nitrogen atoms. Now, they've got some amazing properties. They're 100 times stronger than steel. They're 7 times as thermally conductive as copper for dissipating heat, but they're an electrical insulator. So when we use them in the battery, they've got some incredible properties to be able to stabilize the cathode, which normally has this problem with polysulfide shuttles, and also expanding and contracting it. They act a little bit like reinforcing bars in concrete. Think of it that way. And on the anode, they help dissipate the lithium ions so they cannot form these spikes or dendrites. So the BNNT that we use, though, has historically been extremely difficult to manufacture in volume or in high purity. So we've worked with Deakin University, who spent 10 years working on this, plus a company called BNNT Technology Limited, which is part of the PPK group. They've been able to produce high purity BNNTs in kilogram volumes per week, as opposed to the few grams that are normally produced. And that makes a tremendous difference. Normally BNNTs, if you go on the internet, try and buy them, they're over $1 million a kilogram. So bringing down that cost has been tremendously important. And that's what we've done with our partnership with BNNT Technology Limited. And what we've also done is secure an exclusive worldwide distribution agreement for those BNNTs within lithium sulfur batteries worldwide. So we've got this great, not only this great technology in terms of IP licensing, but we also have really corralled the commercial supply of the core material BNNT we need to supply the battery manufacturers going forward.
I'd love to just spend some time reflecting as well on the ASX LIS IPO, one of the hottest IPOs over this past period. Your market cap was above the $1 billion mark. You hit that fabled unicorn status pretty quickly on in the journey. Love just to hear your reflections on what you thought about the day, how the team took it, and really what you think it means for the story moving forward.
Well, as you know, we did a pre-IPO at 50 cents for $20 million back in May. So we raised our first 20 million, then we went for IPO. To raise another $34 million at 85 cents. We were very pleased during that process to see just how oversubscribed the process was. Incredible amount of interest in acquiring the shares, and I do apologize in advance to those people that didn't get the shares they were looking for. It's just one of those things. But yeah, when it came to, unfortunately, we had to do this virtually on Zoom in terms of ringing the virtual bell at the ASX. So we would have loved to have been there in person, but to see the buying, the demand stacked up was quite incredible. I mean, we kicked off at $2 and it just climbed from there. And at one point we hit over $3. And we're still holding very well at the moment, well above $2. So we're absolutely delighted by that. We think it's justified. We're pleased that people are understanding the story and what we've got to be able to justify that. It's really brilliant. And all I can say is that we're working really, really hard now to justify the faith the investors have put in us and to get this job done really well.
And I think just bringing it back as well to the opportunity that LIS Energy provides. We know NMC is at conventional technology at the moment. LFP is starting to have a bit of a discussion. We hear silicon in the debate. We hear about solid state batteries. Can you just provide that overview about why LIS Energy stands out and also that point of difference that you think moving forward?
There are a lot of different battery chemistries that are competing now for this amazing new market. I mean, batteries are going to be, the volume is now going to be 10 times what it is today within 10 years. So it is a tremendous market to be playing into, and a lot of players want to do that. Some players are working on lithium metal batteries, and as I mentioned, we do have a solution for that as well that we're working on ourselves as a result of the success of our lithium anode stabilization. solid state is on the way, but it's still a fair way off. And what we see are the likes of QuantumScape, for example, with a valuation over $10 billion US, with just having announced that they've managed to do testing on a 4-layer multi-layer cell. So it's quite extraordinary what's happening out there. Lithium sulfur batteries have one of the highest energy densities, theoretically, of any type of chemistry whatsoever. So lithium sulfur is kind of the holy grail on this. And so we're very, very excited about the fact we have a solution for that. But we also, in the process of having created that solution, we've created nanomaterials that we can use with other types of battery chemistry as well. So it's a tremendous opportunity now in the industry. And the good thing is not all batteries are good for everything. So lithium sulfur is ideal for mobile applications such as EVs, drones, aviation, where weight is really important. When you come to like grid scale batteries, supporting power grids and things like that, weight is not important. So cost is very much more important for that. So things like zinc bromide and aluminium-ion batteries and the like are very much more suited to that kind of thing. So even though there are a lot of people trying to do different things out there, the great thing is there's a lot of different industries that need different types of battery, and they all need to be better than lithium-ion.
It is a compelling story. Everybody's familiar with the tailwinds behind the sector. We'd love to hear for those longer term holders who have followed you through from PPK, or those prospective shareholders who now might be looking at ASX LIS, any final reflections that you wanted to leave them with, and what should they be looking for as they move forward?
This is a very exciting industry. Battery development and commercialization takes time. It takes a while to go through the cycling of a battery to get to 900 cycles. Last time it took us several months. We'll be delivering as much news as we can as quickly as possible, certainly both on the technology development, but also on the collaborations and commercialization partnerships that we develop along the way. So we're really looking forward to sharing with you as and when we can.
That is the LIS Energy story. It's ASX LIS on the ASX. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to like it and feel free to share it out. We make daily videos, so make sure you've subscribed and turn your bell notifications on. Dr. Lee Finniear, congratulations on a hot start to life on the ASX, and we'll continue to watch where you head from here moving forward.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.